but I like the corner. Diddy.
It's your turn to
Oh, is it for me?
consider yourself fired.
Why are you winking at me?
Consider yourself fired.
Hello and welcome to the JT and Drew Show. I'm JT.
And I'm Drew.
And we're two nobodies talking about nothing.
Consider yourself fired.
Hey, bud. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. Yes.
Yes, thank me for having you.
Yes, I did. Hands up, don't shoot.
Oh, too soon? No. Man.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's been a wild ride,
What
too.
have you been up to? Wild ride, you are not wrong.
Yeah. Not much, actually. I kicked the rust off my old mowing boots the other day and sat on a zero turn for the first time in a while.
What?
Yes, sir.
Wow, how did that feel?
Felt like Tim Allen in an episode of Home Improvement.
Oh.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I just needed to, throw some Binford parts on it and make it go like 1,000 more miles per hour, and we'd be in business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah, brother!
There you go.
Oh, man. So, speaking of history...
Who said anything about history?
I just did.
What?
Yeah. This is...
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're stealing all my lines. Gosh.
You hate it when I do that.
I'm going to put you back in the corner.
Oh. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Just JT.
Nobody.
What do you know about a day that will live in infamy? A day that rivals the 9/11 attacks on the United States of America.
Well, the day that will live in infamy was December 7th, 1941, when the Empire of Japan suddenly and deliberately attacked the United States of America at Pearl Harbor.
And 9/11?
Yep, that's another one. That's the one I lived through.
Yeah.
I saw that one on the TV.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this the other day. I think I was in 8th grade. You were in 9th grade, freshman or sophomore? Or?
No, I was in 8th grade because it was... The only reason I remember is because I was in my history class.
No way you were in 8th grade.
When my football coach, who was my history teacher, Coach Campbell, and then won't forget him, they were running around the school, and then we just had school as usual. They didn't turn on any TVs.
See, I remember it was our first football game of the season. So we're wearing our jerseys. We're in class. Like you said, school's going like normal. And then they did turn on the TV, and they're like, whoa, hold on, time out on class. And then I remember a bunch of us retards being like, so no game tonight? That's terrible, I know.
Yeah.
And then we went home after school, and I remember out there in the Metroplex, there's a military base, and I remember seeing F-16s fly over.
Yeah, they came over to my hometown, too.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Because F-16s were my favorite planes, and I was like, oh my gosh, look, it's an F-16. And I'm walking home, and of course me, on that particular day, I went the long way.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to watch the planes fly.
Yeah? Yeah, you got to change it up sometimes.
Look at the pretty plane.
All right, so we've covered Pearl Harbor. We've covered 9/11. What's next? What rivals 9/11? What do you think of as another attack on democracy that's just unparalleled, if you will?
The sinking of the Lusitania. That's what got us into World War I.
That wasn't the blimp? No, that was the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I'll give you a hint. How about that?
Is it what I did in the toilet?
Well, that's on the list too, but this one ranks higher than that one.
Oh.
It starts in January, and it falls between the 5th and the 7th.
No, not a clue.
Okay. Well, if you believed everything you heard on the media, it would be the January 6th insurrection.
I don't believe everything in the media.
Me neither.
Wow. No. Yeah. That was unacceptable what they did.
Sure.
But it's not the first time that the Capitol has been broken into and rioted and all that. So,
well, and if we look at the facts, we peel the layers of the onion just a little bit. Those people weren't going in there, shooting the place up, starting fires, killing people. I guess what I'm trying to say is it wasn't as crazy violent. I mean, if you have Nancy Pelosi being escorted out by her million-team security, and she's walking through the halls, and her daughter's in front of her walking backwards with a video camera filming her, I don't think it's that crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's that crazy. And when you have the rioters, and I'm air quoting there, being escorted around by security, I don't see it, man. Like, yeah, it was bad. They should not have broke windows. They should not have thrown the police officer down the stairs. They should not have done a lot of things. But in my tinfoil hat, kind of going off subject here, I really think it was another group of people that had done this that were not a part of the Trump party.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'll wear that tinfoil hat as well. I mean, there's bad apples in every group. Not discounting that for 1 second.
Not at all. Yep, agree with you there.
But I do think some of the more key players were influenced outside of what the media would have us believe. I do believe that a lot of it was blown out of proportion. Otherwise, we would have seen a lot more destruction. I mean, look at the summer previously when people were looting and burning down businesses and breaking windows and stealing, holding up places, shooting people, killing people. I mean, that's intense. What happened on January 6th was not that.
No, it was not that. And they did not take a block and call it a different name. Oh, this is the Chad Zone. Nobody else is allowed in here. They didn't. They're just now getting to the investigation of the pipe bombs. You know, like. And
President Trump didn't go in there and go, "Oh, okay, well, thank you everybody for your support. It looks like I did win, and I'm gonna not leave."
Yeah. Oh,
the people have spoken.
Well, it looks like we persuaded Pence to keep me in for another 4 years.
Did not happen.
And nobody was taken out back and forced to be voted that way.
Not that we know of.
But nobody's come forward.
Yeah. Speaking of, so in my little history research lesson for you today.
What? You were researching history?
I do it every now and then.
I'm a little excited now.
I like to make you happy sometimes. Don't get used to it.
I won't. Yes, sir.
I found an article on something that happened in Alabama that would have you compare it to the January 6th insurrection and see which one you think maybe is an actual crime or is an actual atrocity, if you will. Yeah. So they're calling this an ambush in 1874 or the 1874 Massacre. It has several different names. But basically, in the late 1800s, the Republicans were controlling Alabama.
I wonder if it was in 1874.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
And the Democrats were just getting tired of this, man. You know, hey, we're not winning. Like, I want to freaking be in charge.
That sounds familiar.
Right? Well, you may be familiar with the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan.
Not personally. I've heard of them.
There was another group that was very similar to them. I don't know if affiliated with them. I don't know what the right word is.
I don't know what you're insinuating,
but it's
go ahead.
called the White League, and it was primarily comprised of white Democrats.
Huh. Only league I have ever heard of is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I was going to say the major leagues.
No.
Yeah.
I don't sports.
I don't keep up with it.
Yeah. And anyways.
Yes.
The White League? Is that what you called it?
Yes, the White League.
Oh, of course I would know that. Dang it.
Yeah. That was probably ingrained in you at birth. So
We'll never know.
So these white Democrats were extreme, if you will.
Okay.
They would have militias, and they were kind of sprouted up all throughout the South, kind of spreading, if you will, like a Texas wildfire. Their goal was to take over the South, damn it.
Wait, hang on. Let's make it more relevant.
Okay.
Like a Canadian wildfire?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, yikes.
that too soon?
Hashtag sorry, New York. Ooh.
Not sorry?
Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry?
So, I didn't have my auto-tune on.
That's going in the beginning.
Yikes. So, at the time that they're going to have this election for the state, the candidates will usually rally up support for themselves and encourage people to get to the ballot box, right? Hey, I want you to vote for me. So,
As they do.
So this black Republican man by the name of Fraser had rallied up a lot of support and got about 400 black folks from local farms, areas not necessarily in the city, and they were making their way toward the polls.
Making my way downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they had heard, hey, we know about this White League group. They're pretty dangerous. There's going to be a lot of stuff that may or may not happen. Just keep your wits about you. Don't engage. People are going to call you names. People are going to say this. They're going to do that, whatever. Just let it roll off your back. Vote and go home.
Okay.
While there was a young African-American voter who I guess made it known that he was voting Republican. And a couple gentlemen from the White League decided to take him out back to an alley. And when they re-emerged from the alley, he had a Democratic ballot in his hand. He's voting Democrat now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they persuaded him to change his vote.
I wonder how that persuasion went on.
Yeah. Well, it gets worse from there.
Oh, goodness.
So some arguments ensue while they're there at the polling box. Some White League people getting upset. And one thing leads to another. Their militiamen are kind of all spread out in that area of town, and they get the order to fall in. We're familiar with that one.
Yeah, I know that one.
So they all fall in, and there's people in business stores, business fronts, homes, the little 2-story homes, where your shop is on the bottom and you live upstairs and windows are opening and all this stuff. As these people are falling in, all these shotguns and rifles and handguns and whatever other are pointing at this crowd of black men who are wanting to vote. And then shots are fired.
Ooh. Now, let me clarify.
Yes.
These white men were Democrats.
Yes.
Right? And the black men wanted to vote Republican.
Yes.
So the white men gave the order to fall in and then fired upon the black men.
Yes.
Who wanted to vote.
Yes, because they weren't voting the way that the White League wanted them to.
Wow.
Yeah, starting to sound a little familiar.
That is starting to sound way too familiar.
It gets worse.
Oh, how does it get worse? They already got shot.
Well, there is a U.S. Marshal who is on the ground, and they collect testimony from a bunch of different people, witnesses, U.S. Marshal, a judge there in the town,
Okay.
different shop owners, all the stuff. Well, there's an office there in town with a Yankee soldier, and he's seeing all this stuff happen.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. Yankee soldier or Union soldier?
Yankee.
We're just gonna go there. Okay, cool. Go ahead. Let's do it.
And the U.S. Marshal goes over there and asks for help. Hey, can you get some forces to help us? This is what's happening, and it shouldn't be happening. Yeah, so the soldier's like, no, I have a telegram from headquarters from Montgomery, Alabama that says I'm only supposed to get involved with serving papers. That's it. He's like, well, I actually have warrants for a lot of these people. If you will help me, we can serve these. Well, I'll take a look at it in the morning. And he pleads with the guy, hey, these people are being shot right now. Like, they could all die. If it happens, it happens.
Again, let me clarify. Yankee soldier or Union soldier? I mean, granted, this is 10 years after the Civil War. 9 years after the Civil War.
Yeah.
But, holy mackerel, man.
Yeah.
So the Union soldiers don't get involved.
Everything I'm reading says Yankees.
That's just what we call them here in the South. But
Yankees! All right, so anyway.
But we also call black people African Americans, so we're going to call these Union soldiers.
So they don't get involved. Aftermath. Yeah. Dead people in the streets, some dead people in the woods that were trying to run away. I believe it was the one of the judges that was there who got stabbed in the back and then was able to run. Someone else had been shot 4 or 5 times. Literally.
What?
Yeah, someone else had been shot 4 or 5 times, jumped in a well for protection. I mean, it was just a mess. Massacre to the T.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
The next day, there's another polling place in another city. And this time they don't wait so long to attack. They ask for the White League, they ask for the ballot box because they want the ballots so they can, determine the vote, the outcome of the voting for themselves. When they are denied, they decide to just shoot up the building and light it on fire.
What?
Yeah. Now, what happens? Oh. Obviously, people die. The ballots, they all burn up. Hey, ballots don't exist anymore. So the White League and the Democratic Party at that time consider it a victory. Hey, we won.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, sure it does, because the other votes don't exist. So we won. So they kind of forced their way in there, and then quite literally forced their way in as well, removing people physically from their offices. Oh, hey, yeah, you don't work here anymore. I do. Get out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So this opens up 2 congressional inquiries, investigations, and one of the marshals was able to arrest about 30 or so of the White League members.
Mm-hmm.
And they had several witnesses lined up. Hey, yeah, we all saw this thing go down. Cool. One of the witnesses, the first witness comes up, testifies, and he identifies one of the men in the group that was responsible for this attack. Well, it just so happens he identified the leader of the White League in that area.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That didn't go over so well.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it didn't go over so well at all. The judge had that witness arrested and gave him perjury. So he was lying. So he went to jail.
What?
So as you can imagine, the U.S. Marshal had a very, very, very difficult time trying to get other witnesses come forward when they see that the other witness came forward and got shot down and arrested and went to jail. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Whoa.
what happens to those 30 guys that get locked up? They get let off the hook.
Yeah, I was about to say they got let go because no witnesses are going to come forward.
Yep. Yeah. So all of this to say that this makes the January 6th, quote, air quote, insurrection look like a pre-K class.
Yeah, that sure does. That doesn't... The January 6th doesn't even hold water to this thing.
No, not even close. And just to put some context on this White League, this wasn't just a what do you call it? A radicalized, hey, we're just a group of white guys that call ourselves Democratic, but we're not really part of the Democratic Party. No, these were guys that had big influence down in the South in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. And like I said earlier, they were spreading across the South. And they had a lot of the same goals as the KKK. But they operated openly. It wasn't a secret society.
Huh.
They had organized militias, and one of their goals was to drive Republicans and Unionist forces out of the South. Get them out. We don't want them here.
Huh. Oh, my goodness. You think that happening, right? And it's, like you said, it happened in Louisiana, Mississippi. Of course, Alabama, that's where this came from. You would think maybe that this would influence generations of other black Americans to vote a certain way.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, if someone came into your house right now, say you had no means of defending yourself, because these people didn't have weapons or a means to defend themselves either.
Right.
And they said, you're going to run your house this way. And if you don't, I'm going to kill you. And you have your kids and everything there with you. And you say, no, I'm not going to do this. All right, they kill you. And your kids see that and they go to the kids and go, hey, you're going to do this, or what happened to him is going to happen to you. And then they decide, oh, crap, okay, well, we're going to do it. Fine.
Yeah.
We want to live. So now they're growing up under that, and they're going to influence their children. Hey, guys, you don't want to mess with these people. Just do what they say. I've seen what they can do. I've been personally affected by it. Just comply.
Yeah. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Just do what you're told.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah. So I found that and was like, wait a second. As I continued to research, it was just, this sounds more and more familiar.
Yeah, no, that really does. That is amazing research you did.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I know a lot about the Civil War, but I don't know much after, right? I know the country was in shambles.
Yeah.
But I knew nothing about this. This is not in the history books.
No.
So where did you find this and research it?
So, and this...
If you don't mind me asking.
Google, it's hard to find stuff about it on Google in the form of reputable sources, right? Wikipedia has got all kinds of information on it. Is that a reputable source?
No.
A bunch of different websites that I've never heard of in my life have information on it. But again, I'm like, where's the CNN article? Where's the Fox News, the ABC, the Washington Post? Where's somebody has to have written about this at some point.
Yeah.
No. So I found it at al.com.
Oh, so alabama.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And it, again, gives references, gives testimonies. I mean, the whole article itself is a lengthy read, but it's a good read. It also talks about how even in the city itself today, you won't find much about this at all. The kids in
Do you
school,
think they're trying to erase the history of it?
they won't learn about it. I personally, I think, heck yeah, they are. Because it's got not white people in a bad light. I don't think they're concerned with that, but it's got Democrats in a bad light. And it's tying Democrats to something that's way worse than slavery. And it's tying Democrats to massacring black people, keeping them down, stripping them of their voting rights.
I wonder how far the White League went. I wonder if it went throughout the entire Mason-Dixon line. And then I wonder if it ever went up north. I have to do more research on that, but that's very interesting.
The White League, also known as the White Man's League, was a white supremacist paramilitary terrorist organization started in the southern United States in 1874 to intimidate freedmen into not voting and prevent Republican Party political organizing.
I wonder why the Republicans, in their eyes, were so bad. Like, minus...
want us to abolish slavery.
Right.
That was terrible.
Well, yeah, especially for the South, because that was their huge economic... Well, that was their moneymaker, right? I mean, I'm not a college person, so I don't know a lot of English. But, yeah, that's how the South made money. They didn't have manufacturers like the North did.
They were responsible for widespread violence against black and white Republicans.
Yeah, well, you know the KKK was on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Well, bud, that is a great show.
Yes,
Thanks for bringing the history lesson to all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would encourage, like we always do, I would encourage our listeners, do your own research on this. Whether
don't take Drew's word for it.
The White League, the KKK, the Massacre of 1874, all of it. Do your own research on it, because there's many, many, many stories out there that we don't know about because they're being covered up or because they're not considered priority or worthy of us knowing. You know, information that we search, that we find or what have you is only there because people want us to find it and read it. If they don't want us to, we won't ever know about it.
Yeah, and if I can give a tip on doing history research, you're going to have to go to that particular state's library.
Yeah.
In order to find things more in depth, because they're not going to throw all this online.
No. Yeah, absolutely not.
So, yeah, Library of Congress or any other state's library. That's where you're going to get most of your research.
Yeah, don't take JT's word for it.
Yeah,
take mine.
Look it up.
Take mine.
All right, brother. Well, we will catch you later.
Yes. Adios.
Bye.
Hands up, don't shoot.
Doesn't that make you gay?
As always, we'd like to say thank you for stopping by and listening to the podcast.
Yeah, we realized that you could have been doing anything way more productive, but you chose to waste your time with us.
We look forward to talking about absolutely nothing with you next time.
If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, please email us at
jtandrewshow@gmail.com or visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/JTDrewShow.